is Argentina, Patagonia. This gets very strange, and I'll walk you through it. On December 9th, Milei, their president, announces foreigners can buy Argentinian land and develop it after fires. The next month, Patagonia is burning. Watch this.
En cuanto a tierras rurales, se libera la compra por parte de privados extranjeros.
This was last month.
También se elimina la prohibición de cambiar la actividad productiva del campo por 30 a 60 años tras un incendio, una ley del
They announce foreigners can buy Argentinian land after fires, and a month later, huge fires start in Patagonia. Listen to what this man says.
Estamos sorprendidos de que nos prendan fuego a la Patagonia. Sabemos que es a propósito, lo tenemos recontra en claro que hay poderes que están del lado, tienen un interés inmobiliario, tienen interés minero, y es algo que ya últimamente lo hacen en nuestra cara y ni siquiera lo disimulan. No tienen nada, o sea, no lo disimulan porque tienen todo de su lado.
This is where it gets crazier. Argentinians are pointing to Israelis. And to this, a local resident in El Chalten, I think it is, reported spotting 2 foreign tourists, identified as Israeli based on witness accounts and later confirmed via accommodation records, building a small campfire under vegetation in a prohibited forest area on or around January 5th to 7th, 2026. The resident confronted them, made them extinguish it, and reported it to the park rangers and border police. The tourists fled but were not arrested. Authorities are investigating via photos, videos and records. Watch this video.
Te dueles el alma del corazón cuando ves a la gente que se quedó sin nada, cuando ves los animales muertos. Nosotros hacemos colecta, yo no puedo ni hablar de la angustia que tenemos, nosotros vivimos acá. Este lugar para nosotros es el paraíso y nos quemaron el paraíso, loco. Nos dejaron, arruinaron todo. Y acá lo que pasa es que están queriendo venderle la Patagonia a todos los judíos, loco. Esto se sabe hace un montón. Acá todo el mundo lo sabe, está lleno de israelitas, está todo el mundo comprando la tierra. Nadie hace nada y la única gente que pone el pecho es la gente que perdió todo. Acá nos dejaron solos.
Now, it's still early, but I think that's interesting to take note of. Nobody has been convicted or arrested yet, and the people who committed this arson are yet to be found. So it's speculation. I think it's important we report what people on the ground are saying and their concerns. Also, we shouldn't ignore the fact that there was Israelis spotted making campfires under vegetation in prohibited areas in Patagonia during the height of summer.
Torah is the Hebrew Bible, and technically the Talmud is part of the Torah. Torah means teaching. So you have the written Torah, which is the Hebrew Bible. Then you have what is called the oral Torah, which is a tradition that was passed down orally. Now, the basis of Judaism is the 613 commandments in the Bible. That is what you would call the written Torah. The oral Torah is how they interpret and apply those. So what the rabbis do is they have to interpret how they apply. That's what you call the Talmud. And the Talmud is basically rabbis debating each other about how we interpret those commandments. But that is the basis of Jewish law. It's those written commandments and the oral application of them. That constitutes the whole of Jewish law. Any Jewish student who goes to a yeshiva or a Jewish school, like Ben Shapiro, he studies the Talmud. The Talmudic Judaism, that is the Judaism of today. Without it, you can't interpret Jewish law. There's a Israeli Jewish historian named Israel Shahak. He is considered the Thomas Aquinas of Judaism, like the greatest scholar of Jewish law. He said that every Jew should pray for the death of every Christian every day. And this is loaded up in the Talmud. It's loaded up in Kabbalah, which is the mystic tradition, which is this intense hatred and distrust, in particular of Christians, but of all non-Jews in general. Netanyahu gave a speech last year, and he said that the Palestinians are Amalek. Amalek is a biblical term. It refers to a story in the Old Testament where the Israelites wipe out an entire race. They're called the Amalekites. And Yahweh tells them, kill all the women, all the children, murder all of them, genocide them, so their bloodline stops. And that's a reference to that Bible story. And if you read anything about the Israeli government, anything even about Talmudic Judaism, what they say is, we don't love our enemies. They say that the non-Jews, we don't even consider them human. They don't have souls. They don't have moral culpability. We have very little regard for their lives.